You're heading in the right direction, guys. I don't want you to give up. I don't want you... Hold the flipping horses. I do apologise. I appear to have missed something really important. Look at the absolutely fantastic bloody mirrors. Okay then, guys, so let's begin by showing you my new t-shirt. It's not that exciting, and you can see there's quite a few that have had it done. I don't know what that says. Can you zoom in? No, you can't zoom in. Okay, so let's see who's on here. See if we recognize anybody. Daggerwin is there. I don't know who that is, but Daggerwin's got his t-shirt in there. Pan Sim, I don't know who that is. 24E, I don't know who you are. Cada version 3, don't know who that is. Don't know who that is. I can't read what that says. I don't know what that is. I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is. That's Raptor. Ardy Allen. Rock. Simulation Turk. Simulation Turk, something like that. And there's Sim UK. Now, I've got to say, I don't know why it's so low. It should be up here on the chest, not down here on the nipple, if you will. But anyway, it's there. It's cool. I don't know who that is. Who's that? Not a clue. Can't read that one either. You can't zoom in enough. The squad. Titan, 3G, 4WB. Okay, so there's quite a few YouTubers who have got it. It's not just me, but I am grateful to them for giving me access to it. I would have liked a white shirt and a black shirt rather than a dark grey and a darker grey. But anyway, that's a bit disingenuous, isn't it? I do appreciate it. Thank you very much, guys. I didn't mean to do that. Balls. What should we go for here? Why is there nothing in white? I want a white hat and a white t-shirt. What is wrong with you guys? So, I mean, you might be quite surprised that they even bothered putting my name in the game. Because, you know, I was critical of the game. But that is why I am supporting the game now. Because despite being critical of the game, and a lot of attention was generated around that whole video, the developer team took it on board, and they've addressed my concerns and other people's concerns, and they're trying to make the game better. What more can you ask of a development team than that? Nothing, in my humble opinion. So that's why we're here. That's why we're going to have a look today. Now, what shall we have a look at? Shall we go... Let's just go free farming. Oh, I didn't realise it had stuff on the back. That looks pretty cool on the back. Actually, that's quite a cool t-shirt. I do appreciate that a lot more than I did in that original looking thing. So, okay, gravy, baby. How do we go first person? So it seems like my Xbox 360 controller does not work at all, which is odd because I'm pretty sure it used to. Let's go to options. Let's go to controls. All right, this has changed a lot. Customizable. Okay, so this is actually quite good. I've not seen this before. WASD is kind of the default ipso facto. I know a lot of people, left-handed people especially, who like the arrows as opposed to WASD. IJKL. That's interesting. I've not used this method, but yeah, that kind of makes sense as well. Okay, cool. We're going to stick with WASD, but I don't even want to use that. I want my controller. I want my steering wheel. So can I just pick anything? No. Customizable. Not customizable. What is this? Alright, my controller has started working again, which is good. But how the hell do I put the wheel in? That doesn't work. I cannot change that. That is not letting me change anything. Ah. Controller and wheel. Okay, right. Here we go. This is how it's done. Oh, really? That's a bit disappointing. So it seems like the game is going to dictate to me what my buttons do, which is not really what I was looking for. I certainly can't use my Cytec side panel because there's no way to add buttons. That's a bit of a shame, but okay. It looks like the wheel is on now. The mirrors are enabled. Motion blur is enabled. Let's give this a go, shall we? Free farming. I'm using my Xbox 360 controller along with my wheel, which is what it said I could do. And it's saying on the left there, it's saying move up using the D-pad, move down using the D-pad, left and right using the D-pad. But on the controller it doesn't work. It only works on the wheel. So that's already a bit of an issue. And the fact that you can't change anything means I'm stuck to using the one on the wheel. And I don't want to use the one on the wheel. Doesn't matter if you do, I don't want to. Right, okay, so we got serious problems. Because I've got my controller in my hand and I can't move. Now if you look in the top left hand corner, if I press the LB and right B buttons together, you can see that I am controlling that menu. But I cannot walk. Let's press F6. That is not working for me at all. Toggle controls. But now I can walk. It seems like it starts in this. Look at that all coming up on the right. Selected, prefer control device, controller, keyboard and mouse, controller and wheel. What the hell? I didn't do any of that. Toggle controls. So now I can't walk. Press F6 again and now I can walk. That's so confusing. I don't like that part of this game. I really don't. So, graphics have been improved. Let's have a little look. I'd say everything looks pretty vibrant. I haven't played since I made that last video, which is quite a while ago. But stuff in the distance... For me, one of the issues was stuff in the distance. It looked all blurry and like it appeared to be superimposed. I mean, some of the trees here don't appear to have loaded their textures properly, even though I'm quite close to them. So there's a lot of popping. Very slow texture loading. I am running at 60 FPS, so that's more an issue with the game than my PC not being up to the task, I'd say. Yeah, see, that doesn't look good. No, that's not looking good. Again, that looks superimposed, doesn't it? The blurriness in the background, the fact that those trees there haven't loaded properly. I have to get really close to them before they actually look like trees. And when they do look like trees, it just pops in. That's not great. Whilst I'm walking, I appear not to have any sprint button. So I can only go at this one speed, which is, again, a bit frustrating and something that they could easily fix. So I'm going to mention it in the hope that they take that on board and fix it. It's running at a solid 60 FPS. It is not faltering at all. I mean, every so often it drops down to 59, but then immediately, within a second, it's back up to 60. Do you know what? 60 FPS is... I won't say it's critical for high-speed racing and so on and so forth, but it is nice. When you're driving fast to have 60 FPS, it just makes everything seem smoother. But this is a farm game, so 30 will be fine. So you've got 30 FPS to play with that you don't need to worry about. Right, okay, now we're going to have more problems. The wheel isn't working. But we have seen the wheel working, so we know the wheel works. Have I got to press F6? Oh, that's just weird. Right, that explains it then. So the reason why I couldn't look around when I first loaded in was because the wheel was selected. And as you can see, I am using the wheel to steer, and it is 1-to-1. And actually that feels great. And I've always said right from the start that the suspension physics or the suspension animation in this game is really good, and we're bouncing around and leaning into corners, and all of that feels brilliant. Even though the physics aren't realistic, the suspension is so good that it makes it feel realistic, which is amazing. I mean, that is, if there was any one thing in this game that I say they've got absolutely spot on right, it's the suspension on the tractors. It really feels like I'm driving a tractor. Now, admittedly, I'd like it if my head was bouncing around a little bit more, but I mean, I really am asking for a simulator when I start talking about things like that. Now, the issues are the G29's working fine. Absolutely creamed it. No issue with my G29. Accelerate. We got the bounce. We got the steer. We got the braking. We've even got the suspension tipping forwards as I brake. Now, to hide menu, I have to press the clutch and left button. What is that all about? Because otherwise, my D-pad is my looking button. Now that's horrible. That is horrible. I never ever asked for head tracking in this game because it was pointless. We didn't even have steering wheels. But now we have steering wheels and no head tracking. You've now got this new problem. It's impossible to use the left and right D-pad whilst you're turning, because it's going to be upside down, it's going to be facing the wrong way, you're not going to know where you are. I mean, it works functionally, it works. When you press the button, it turns the way it's supposed to, and the speed at which it turns is I could do with it being slightly faster, but it's not too bad. But the issue that we've got, of course, is that you've got no head tracking, and head tracking would make this game much better. I mean, it's heading in the right direction. The fact that we've got the wheel and the suspension is so good, combine that with head tracking, and the driving element, I think, is going to be good enough to appease 90% of the population. Now, underneath these wonderful suspension animation / physics, there are no physics whatsoever. So let's, for example, do something rather crazy. I don't know how to go to an external camera, so it's going to be difficult to show you this, but we'll have a crack anyway. So I'm flat out 29 miles an hour. Doesn't really feel like 29 miles an hour if I'm being honest, but anyway, trying to find something that will get me sort of airborne. This might do it. Let's just try going over here. Now you see, really and realistically, I should have tipped the tractor there, almost certainly. But no, it just kind of slides down and everything's fine. That's a lack of physics right there. It just doesn't look good, doesn't look real. Now I am glad to say that accelerating and hitting the brake makes you brake, hitting the brake again makes you reverse, hitting the accelerator makes you brake, hitting the accelerator again makes you accelerate. So they are listening, they are making an effort, and definitely there are improvements in the game. But it's just one step in a journey that's going to take a little while. Based on just this alone, the wheel, I'd say the wheel is fine. The wheel, if you've got a G29, then your wheel will work perfectly in here. Not being able to turn your head and look is just horrible. Not being able to rebind the keys is just criminal. Not really criminal, but it is a disappointment. It's what needs to come next. What needs to come next for the driving aspect of this game is that you need to be able to rebind keys to whatever you want. You need to be able to use your head tracking so that you can look around whilst you're driving, and that alone will bring this game so much closer to being a simulator than it currently is. Cycle camera is clutch, right D-pad. I'm not sure I like that, but it does work. How do I turn the camera with this? Oh, okay, cool. Right, let's try showing you these physics issues. How do I zoom in and out though? See, the problem is they've set up everything. I can't see where I'm going. They've set up everything in a way that they think makes sense, and it does. Right, watch this. Watch this. Not bad, huh? The suspension really does kind of work. Even got a bit of a skid there, which is nice. It's heading in the right direction. It's definitely heading in the right direction. I want to give them credit for what they have done. To be honest, I can't give them too much credit because the steering wheel should have been in the game from the start. Hello. My little one's come in to say hello. Hang on.
I got you a present.
Oh, thank you. What did you get me? Some superhero glasses. That is so cool. Thank you, darling. Thank you. Right. I'm going to take these glasses off. Okay, guys. So, yes. Where were we? Physics, still lacking. Suspension, superb. Steering wheel works spectacularly well, but what we need to see next is head tracking and the ability to rebind keys, and also the ability to pick or add additional controllers. Like I have a SciTech side panel here for farming. I mean, that thing was built specifically for Farm Sim 17, but it will work with any farm game obviously, except this one, because you won't allow us to bind anything yet. So hopefully they'll listen. Hopefully they'll put some better physics into the game. Well, I say better physics, there's no physics really at the moment. Hopefully they'll put some physics into the game. Graphically, I don't know what the problem is. This, you can see it all popping in the background there. It's not good. You've got a solid 60 FPS there, which is great. Well done. Hat goes off to you. But it doesn't look good. I'd much prefer having 30 FPS and graphics that look nice at this distance. Like if I start driving over here towards this stuff, how do I get back inside? If I start driving over towards these bushes, like these trees ahead of me here that look terrible, look terrible, look terrible, look terrible. And you can see stuff popping around me all over the place. Look how close I have to get before it actually looks like a tree. Right. How do I get out? How do I get out? I have to press F6. F6 again. And then press X. That's horrible. That's horrible. It's not the end of the world having to press F6 to switch between keyboard and mouse controller and wheel, but I don't want to use my keyboard and mouse, so that's an extra key press that shouldn't even be there. Look, even the house is popping in. You're heading in the right direction, guys. I don't want you to give up. I don't want you... Hold the flipping horses. I do apologise. I appear to have missed something really important. Look at the absolutely fantastic bloody mirrors. Kudos on the mirrors. The mirrors are spectacular. They really are fantastic. Let's get something hooked up to this and see what it's like back in something M. I'm actually struggling with the fact... The mirrors are brilliant, but I'm struggling with the fact that turning my head doesn't do anything. I'm so used to playing FS17. Attach rear device is, for some reason, the gear up lever. silly. Right, how do I now... Right, clutch, left button. How do I raise it up? How do I swap? So you can get out of the vehicle by pressing square when you're inside. But once you're outside, you can't use the controller, so you have to press F6 twice just to turn around to get back in, to press F6 to go back to your wheel. That doesn't work, guys. I mean, surely you don't need me to tell you that that doesn't work. Left button, which is actually the gear down. That brings me the front. So right button will bring me the back. Okay, I've got it now. Unfold. Rotate. Move the device up. Oh, it already was up. Okay, so move the device up. Right, okay, let's go by a field and plough it. The mirrors are brilliant. Really impressed, guys. They're the best mirrors I think I've ever seen. They're better than Fernbus mirrors. They're better than Farm Sim 17 mirrors. They are really, really, really good mirrors. If only I had head tracking and graphics that didn't pop in, that would be brilliant. If I had head tracking and better graphics that didn't pop like that, I think you'd be nearly there, guys. I really do. Right. So we'll get onto the field. Do we own this field? Triangle. Buy field. Buy. Excellent. Right thingy. Move the device down. And there she goes. It's a bit annoying that the field information details is now overlaid over the mirror. I kind of need the mirror. That's the point of the mirror. So yeah, that UI overlay needs to go. If I press U, oh, that doesn't work anymore. Right, hang on. F6, U, F6, F6. You know that's irritating, don't you? But those mirrors are spectacularly good. Oh my god, they are good. So you know I'm going to be moaning if FS19 hasn't got mirrors as good as this now, right? These mirrors are spectacular. Kudos on that. Okay, now we got an issue. So now because I've turned the UI off, I can't control the plough. So to control the plough, it's the up gear shifter and up. But because the UI is off, that means my head is moving. So now I have to press F6. No, I don't. F6, F6. I have to press, how do I do this? Left clutch, right D-pad. No, that's that. Left D-pad. Left clutch, left on the... Oh god, how do I do this? F6 to keyboard. U, F6, F6. Right toggle up. Right toggle up. Why isn't that working now? Now that isn't working. It seems like it's really behind. Toggle controls. It's, do you know what? It's turned into a mess. It's broken. If I get out, F6, F6, right, turn round, get back in, press F6 again so it's on the wheel, and then press the right thing and up. No. I can't do it anymore. Ah. And weirdly, all of a sudden now it starts working again. Yeah, that's buggy, guys. Not great. Your mirrors are exceptional. Exceptional. Absolutely brilliant. Now, I'm going to show you again. Well, first of all, you're covering my mirror, which isn't great. So I'll press U, which doesn't get rid of it, but if I press F6 U, that gets rid of that annoying thing. F6 twice, it gives me the wheel back. Okay, now you'll see that the tractor is dead still. I can go as fast as I like, there's no bouncing, there's nothing at all, right? That's because there's no physics. If I press left clutch and go to the external camera, I can't zoom out because I don't know what the button is. But you can see, as best as you can see, hang on, let me press F6 and then I can zoom out using the mouse. F6, F6, this is just way too complicated now. But you can see, F6, zoom in a bit. F6, F6. Is that on now? Yeah, okay. So you can see that the wheels don't do anything. If I go over the previously ploughed area, there's no physics at all. All there is a drop as you come off the field. So there's more work to be done. It's definitely heading in the right direction, and kudos on the mirrors. The mirrors are brilliant. I am so impressed with the mirrors. You guys have done such a good job on the mirrors, honestly. Everybody else needs to do what you've done with the mirrors. They are perfect. And that's what I've been looking for so long, it's ridiculous. If I could figure out what button it was to skip to night, I would test it at night time as well. But to be honest with you, I've already had enough of having to press F6 to switch between my controller types and then for things to stop working, right? Up shift and up, no, see I can't do it. So I cannot control, despite the fact that I am on. I mean, look how little that wheel turns. That's not right, is it? Head on, full lock to the right. That's ridiculous. Head on, full lock to the left. That is not right, guys. That does not work. Left shift in the cab. That doesn't look realistic. Oh, hang on a minute. The wheel is no longer one-to-one. Is that because I've got the plough on the back? You've restricted my turning circle. Is that what it is? See, things like that are not appreciated by people like me. That is taking away, that is dumbing it down. That is taking away my control, adding a layer of, oh, what's the word? You're abstracting. You're putting a layer of abstraction there. So anyway, you're heading in the right direction. Keep going. Look in front of you there. Okay. Imagine now head tracking working with those fantastic mirrors, the wheel working properly, okay, and the distance graphics no longer looking like they're superimposed. That doesn't look real, what I'm looking at there. And it should do. You're running at 60 FPS, that's brilliant, but I don't care. Run this game at a solid 30 with decent graphics, these mirrors, head tracking, and a wheel, proper wheel support with button binding options, and you're there. Everything else can just fall in line afterwards. Well, physics as well. We do need some physics, some realism. When I drive over a ploughed field, I want the tractor to know about it. Do you know what I mean? But other than that, you've done very well. And these mirrors are exceptional. So 100 kudos points on the mirrors. I'm so impressed. But you've still got some work to do. But you have made progress, so well done. That's pretty much it. That's my review, guys. Come again, join me for the next one when the next big update comes out. I'll be sure to follow it as well. Thanks for watching. Take care. Till next time. Goodbye.